Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of BD Alchemist. Today we're going to give you some updates on the Quicksilver project. A lot has been done. There's a lot of cars in the shop. Let me show you. So Project Quicksilver took a back seat. We put the customer's car before our own. So this took about 3 weeks to get done, but as you can see, engines in the car, tranny, everything is on. We're buttoning everything up. I do have the turbo kit. That's mainly what today's episode is about. So I decided to go with the T4 twin scroll turbo kit from Morrison Performance. So thank you very much, Matt and Samantha. They did an awesome job. This kit fits. I think this is the best fitting kit that I ever had in my Evo. You could talk about all the name brands and everything, but this is the best fitting kit. It has the most amount of clearance that I've ever had. Even the side exit exhaust fits pretty well. It clears everything. I had a side exit before, and the pan was getting in the way because of the lower intercooler pipe, and exhaust wouldn't fit in the same place. The Moroso pan would typically get in the way, but this one, as you can see, this not a Moroso pan, but there's a lot of clearance here. I can even feng shui a little oil cooler in there too. But I'm very happy with the kit. Great communication with Morrison Fabrication, and as you can see, this is not a small turbo, but it fits perfectly. More than enough room in here. So this, I did decide to go with the Garrett, the new one, G42 1200. And the reason is because I don't think anybody put that on the Evo. And I just like trying new things. There's really no information out there on this, but it's supposed to be a really, really good turbo, capable of 1200 horsepower and whatnot. I went with the 1.5 stainless steel housing, V-band out, and as I mentioned, T4 twin. I don't like the hood exits or anything like that, so down firing. Matt was kind enough to accommodate that. Got everything in. Wanted to talk a little bit about the mechanical fuel pump for people who wanted to go this route. It is really, really good to have one. If you're doing high horsepower, you don't have to worry about pumps ever again or starvation of fuel. But there's a couple of things that I had to do. I don't know if other people had to do as well. Number one was these bolts, the mount bolt had to be shaven. I shaved a little bit of this one, the last one, before you put it in. This needs to be rerouted. I'm probably gonna put, I don't know, maybe like a little plate or separator, and then, push it down a bit. That's the power steering. And then routing the lines is probably the most important thing, because I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe above at the U or around this way. I'll figure it out. That's another thing to be concerned with. I had an issue with this because I was sent the wrong gears, wrong sprockets. I got sent the DSM ones. They look very similar and it would fit, but it wouldn't allow for the extended pin that this came with to clear, because the DSM one sprocket is thicker than this one. So I had an issue with that. You also have to shave this part. As you know, this will sit here, so the side of the valve cover will not clear the bracket for the manual, the mechanical pump. So you kind of have to, cut it open, and we kind of did that. Another thing is my manifold, the JMF Fab, sits lower. So I remember having all these different manifolds. They usually sit up here, but this one's significantly lower. So be aware that your routing of the piping might not work. Also, I'm reusing my upper intercooler pipe, 3-inch, made by STM. That was on a Evo 8 without ACD. So there was some confusion. I checked online. There's two different kind of routing, one for ACD and one without ACD. But apparently the 3-inch one fits the ACD regardless of what they say online, the STM one. So I got lucky with that. The 3-inch pipe, we test fitted it, it was good. I decided to go with the 5-inch intercooler this time instead of the 6. I don't think I'll need it for the power that I'm going after. But yeah, I'm still keeping this ACD pump. So I don't know, I just like ACD, and I don't think there's an issue. There's a lot of hearsay about if it is strong enough to hold this, that, but you know, it's a mixed feeling if it will hold the power and whatnot. And again, I'm not launching. I'm literally just making this for experiment. Make the power, drive it around a little bit, maybe light, I don't know, highway poles and whatnot. And then this is going to go to sell. After I sell this, I'm going to start with a new project, new video, new everything. Wiring wise, because this sat lower, it changed a few things. So we redid the wiring, it tucked everything out. I wish I took pictures when we did that, but decided to go with a power block instead of the typical distribution Primo Evo X or 8.9 that we typically go with. All in all, wasn't bad. I mean, the main thing is this turbo kit. I thought we were gonna have issues. I had another turbo kit 7275 before, and it wasn't even a T4. It was just a V-band. You would think it's easier, and I had issues, fitment and all that stuff. But this fits like a dream. So if you guys are thinking about getting a turbo kit, it doesn't matter if it's forward facing or whatever, hit up Matt, hit up Samantha on Facebook or whatnot, from Morrison Performance Fabrication. Sorry Matt, and they will, believe me, the biggest thing is the communication, because it needs to get from your head into their head so they understand what you want. And he gave me exactly what I wanted in a timely fashion. And you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. It's kind of cheap too. And he didn't cheap out on the material. I think he's using like a 321, as he told me, material instead of the 304. And it's just amazing. Like, we literally put this together in half an hour. Not even. It was mostly just looking for bolts that we had laying around. So that's awesome. Thank you, Matt. Now, also I wanted to cover some things I typically go with, but I'm not this time, which is the Whiteline roll center. I am skipping out on that. So let me explain what that is. I do need new ball joints. Tie rods. And I typically go with Whiteline roll center kit, and this this subprim actually has it from this car, and I'll show you what that is. So the Whiteline roll center kit is the control arm bushings and the tie rods that the actual pins that go into the chassis part is elongated. See, this is actually longer than the stock one. What that does is it allows for more cambering if you're gonna drop your car. And you know, I used them on all Evos, no exception. All Evos, I had these, and the car just feels much more stable. So if you're thinking about it, you should definitely get it. It makes the car very stable, feels good when you're cruising. It's straight, turns well. And I won't need it because I'm actually not gonna drop my car. I can't because of the tires. And these are the wheel and the tire combination I decided to go with. This will fit a 275. Out of all the wheels that I've tried, the Flowform Conning is the ones that actually fit the 275 without any fender rolling or anything like that. But I'll still probably gonna do a fender roll because it does stick out a little bit. Not much, but it does. So these are 275 R888Rs, my favorite tires. And what else? What else did we do? So we were putting everything together. This tranny is actually stock built. What that means is, if you look at Sheps or any other website, you'll get all the different stages of builds. Like for this one, that one is TRE Build. It basically has a final drive of 411, which means each gear you can get higher miles per hour. and it's carbon synchros and, you know, shot penned, cleaned, whatever gears need to be changed, they actually changed it. So it's still stock gears from OEM factory, just put together a lot better. And the synchros usually are what, I think copper or something, but this one is carbon. It's much stronger, so it's not going to go bad that easily. So I have done that, something similar, except for I did not go with carbon synchros because I think they're tougher. And we just basically built OEM, fresh and everything. But this was surprisingly in a very, very good condition. Even the diff actually had a wave track differential in it. And when we opened it up, this was actually built. We just cleaned it up a bit and, you know, did the seals, and that's basically it. Now I am having issues with fitting the surge tank. So I know typically people put the surge tank in the back. I don't want to do that because the fuel pump, the mechanical fuel pumps do not like to pick up fuel, and preferably this should be in the front. Over here, I'm thinking about putting it right here and making like some kind of, I don't know, seat for it. It does not sit lower than the tranny, which is good, so it'll never hit bottom out. With that sitting there, it also cleared the lower intercooler, upper intercooler pipe, and my catch can, which fits here. But ultimately, if I had a choice, I would want to put it in that corner because it's, I think, much, much more stable. But all that junk going on over there with moving parts and the shifter, I don't think I will be able to. But I will verify right before fitting. Wiring wise, ECU wise, I am going with the AM Infinity. And I've used it before, but there's some improvements. It's a light and day ahead of AEM V2 or V1, obviously. And if you have an option of, like, you're right now making a decision to get an ECU and you're thinking about AEM, get the Infinity. Do not even think about getting the V2 or anything like that. It's night and day. If you do have the money, get a Haltech. Haltechs are just amazing machines. But what you pay for, AEM is pretty good. It's out there. It's probably my second after Haltech. But for me, this came with the AEM, so this is what I'm going with. And I just bought a CD7. Speaking of which, the CD7 is a large opening. It's pretty big. It's like 7" cross, and it has a hood and all that stuff. So I am having issues putting it in the cluster. I don't see anyone who makes maybe like a race, not a cluster, but like a block or something, like a plate to go with it. So CD7 is actually same size as the back opening, but not the front. I mean, this flexes, so that'll be okay. But if anyone knows anyone that makes a plate for this to block it up so I can put the CD7 in there, please let me know. Please let me know and help me out. So as you can, I never saw the interior. The interior of this car is amazing. It's in very good condition. It's leather, Recaros. It's, you know, mint condition. The car has no rust when I bought it from Mississippi. And I'm very, very happy with it. Thank you, Jason, for selling me this car. So again, folks, we'll keep you updated as progress happens. Oh yeah, look, this is my catch can, which basically will fit here. Will fit here. Should clear everything. I did not powder coat this. I probably will eventually. And I'm also thinking about making merchandise with my logo. I had a couple of requests for it. I don't know where to go for all that. I'm asking for help. If anybody knows a good reputable company, what kind of t-shirts, the quality matters. And I'm probably gonna get some car decals too. So if anyone knows anyone or can point me in the right direction, just, you know, comment. And that's basically it for today. We're gonna go back to work. I have a few things to button up. and then we're going to do the fuel system. After we do the fuel system, will be the first start. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching, everyone.